What is up, guys? Dirk here. In this video, I want to share with you a short-term trade idea for Bitcoin. So let's dive straight into it. Obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing this for educational purposes only. If you do want to trade, make sure you always practice proper risk management, which means, in my opinion, just risking 1% on the trade when wrong, and then to be able to make, in this case, almost 6% if this works out in the right way. Now, if you want to trade, personally, I use BYBIT. The link is in the description down below. If you want to create an account there, you can do so and get maximum deposit bonuses, almost up to $30,000. I believe the details are there. So if you want to create a BYBIT account, click the link in the description down below. So I don't do too many of these, but every now and then I want to share something like this, especially in real time, so you can help get an understanding of how I look at these markets and the kind of trades that I look for. And hopefully it's educational and informative to you. Let me know in the comments down below also if you want me to do more of these kind of trade setups and breakdowns, and if you find this interesting or not. So we have Bitcoin back up above 25K. It was actually below it for a little bit recently. So what we are looking at here is a setup where we have a potential range. Okay, and I actually do have a free tutorial here on the channel. I will link to it up here and in the description down below how this works. But what we have is we have a wick here and the reaction high of that wick. Okay, and that potentially defines the range. So what we have over here is we could create a parallel channel like this over here from the low to the high, and you see it has the 50% line over here. And immediately what you can already see is there's a lot of kind of support around the midline here initially, and then it acted as resistance. So usually when you see this and you see that activity around the 50% line, it means that there is a higher chance that this could potentially indeed be a valid range. Now, the rules of the range are that you define the range, you wait for a sweep of the low or the high. You don't do anything in between, but once it sweeps and it reclaims the range, meaning that we get either a sweep of the high and drop back into the range, or a sweep of the low and a reclaim back into the range. Okay, that is the condition. So in this case, we got the sweep of the low and a reclaim. So we got this, so it went below here. It got back into the range over here, and then technically the rules of this range setup would be that it would target the highs of this range and take out this high over here. Now, that is the condition over here. When trading, ideally what we want to be doing is proper risk management, is risking 1% of the trading account. So if you have a $10,000 account, you risk $100, which is 1%, to be able to make 3% or more. In this case, it's almost 6%. So in a $10,000 account, 1% risk is $100 when wrong. And when right, this would almost make $600 or 6%. That is proper risk management because it allows you to basically have multiple losing trades, many losing trades before you blow your account. And that is what most people do wrong. They over risk. They lose most of their money in a single trade. They lose 20, 30, 50% of the account in a single trade, and then it's unrecoverable. But if you do it this way, yes, it's slower, but it's sustainable. It's going to ensure that you are going to be able to do this for the long term without blowing your account. Okay, so by the way, if you want to know how to get access to funded capital, click the link in the description down below. Watch my free training, okay, and I will show you how it's able to actually use prop firms to get access to funded capital. That's not what this video is about, but I just wanted to add that in there as a by the way. If you're wondering how to get access to capital that you trade with to be able to make this worth your while, go and watch the training. So back to this video over here. Back to the setup. What we have now is we have a reclaim of the range. What I'm looking for now is a pullback. Sometimes it only pulls back to the actual range low and then bounces if this setup is valid. But what we can also see from time to time is a pullback to the Fibonacci golden pocket, which would mean somewhere around about over here. Then look for an entry like this, get a bounce up. That's the idea behind the trade. Okay, we get something like this, we look for an entry, which is either going to be here, that would be optimal, but maybe it's going to be here at the range low, which obviously reduces it, but it still makes it a 1 to 3.5. Okay, so upon the entry, the invalidation here would be these lows. Okay, if it goes below these lows, the setup is invalid in my opinion, and it's probably going to just continue lower. That's always the risk. That's why you use the stop loss. That's why you limit your loss to 1%. So let's just say we do get this. We get the entry over here. The stop is here, and the target is technically over here running these highs, but the initial target could also simply be just running this high or running these highs. So these could be potential partial profits if it does go up. And if it is this setup where you enter lower at the Fib golden pocket, then this would already be close to a 3R or 4R. So it's already a very good return. And what's interesting to note here, this is obviously the Fibonacci golden pocket. The purple is the 0.70% Fib retracement. You can see how perfectly this actually ends up being here at that Fib retracement, the golden pocket, and the 0.70 over there. How perfectly this is on the middle line. So just getting rid of all these annotations, this is the setup at this point. We have the range, we got the sweep, we got the reclaim. We're waiting for a drop back, and that we're gonna have to wait and see if we get that. Does it either bounce here off this range low over here and continue higher, in which case if you're watching it you could even enter at that point still with a stop at the low, or does it continue lower? Does it first drop and bounce over here, and then you could attempt the trade with a stop over here, maximum loss when wrong 1%, and then targeting 3 to 6% depending on where you enter. And let's see how this ends up playing out. I'll update this in a couple of days and we can look back on this. Maybe it never ends up getting an entry, maybe it ends up getting stopped out, or maybe it ends up working out. But either way, this is the logic behind the setup. In my opinion, it is a high probability setup that works more than 50% of the time, and the risk reward is usually greater than 1 to 3. So for my trading system, it does work, and it is usually a profitable setup. So let me know in the comments if you want me to make more of these types of setups and breakdowns. If you like that, if you want to know more about trading, my own trading system, and how to get funded, click the link in the description down below. There is a free training there that breaks down in more detail. And if you want to trade crypto, then you can check out BYBIT. If you don't have an account yet, use the link in my description. And you'll be able to get maximum deposit and sign up bonuses and maximum benefits for doing so. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.